We're doing the MultiModal Project with Shelby and Abby, and
we are doing mental illness on high schoolers, and our first point is underestimated, misidentified commonly with just being upset, and most people that do have it don't show it because people can't show their emotions.
Well, they also don't want to bring it attention to them. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm so sad.
People aren't going to believe them either, and then they'll be like a pick me.
Yeah.
At that point,
mm-hmm.
I mean, people that say they're depressed is more effective than people that say they have depression.
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to admit that you have depression, you know, it means a lot, you know, or that you're depressed. Sorry. It can also be genetics.
The lack of availability, because some places are just really expensive and you can't go there all the time, but you can
Especially
also, they
have to go into a mental hospital.
Yeah.
And you just have to
get the grippy sock vacation. But there's like apps now that are like quote unquote free. They're not free, and I'm not trusting someone over the phone. You know?
Or they say they're free, and then after you download it, it's just like pay $10 for this trial, and you can only have for a week. And then after you're paying like $70 for like a month.
Kid you not.
Literally.
And then they always like, if school counselors, they're there for you. No, they're not. They
really.
always go to your parents with everything. Be like, I don't want my parents knowing about this. Immediately after you leave, they'll call your parents and be like, this is what your daughter said.
Yeah, by the way, your daughter's depressed.
And it's like, depending on how severe it is, they have to tell. But if you go to a counselor or a therapist, then it's gonna be severe.
But they're also gonna send you to a mental hospital.
Yeah, like grippy sock vacation.
Even if it's not that bad, they're like, oh, your kid is mentally ill and probably like gonna do something, so you're going to a hospital.
Yeah.
Which is an issue.
Because you're sad, so you have to go to a hospital.
Exactly.
Which ultimately makes you worse.
Yes. Because who wants to be locked up in a hospital? It's just gonna make everything
Another bullet point is the idea that students shouldn't have parent involved.
And not all parents want to pay or believe that therapy works because they think that the child is completely fine.
Because yeah, it's like, oh, you have mental illness. It's not real.
It's not. it's just on your phone. It's your phone that's causing your mental illness. It's the reason.
Or they could also be the problem, which is also bad. Also coming back to, if you go to the school therapist or whatever, or counselor, they're going to go back to your parents. And
well, especially, it'll be even worse if you have issues at home.
Yeah.
Which brings you into trauma, which is not...
Which is still bad.
It's really bad, and your parents could be, you know, not the best.
Not the best.
Not the best.
Common feelings that people get with depression and anxiety, because that's the drawing interpretation. Which we're not doing that. We're doing poetic, kind of. We don't want to make it depressing, because most depressing things aren't in your face about being depressing.
Yeah. So the main points for depression, you have a lot of frustration, which is because you have a lot of built up emotions that you keep bottled up and will not, you know, express them.
Yes. Stupid.
I have that issue as well. You get very overwhelmed with those
very easily
emotions. You have high standards. Starved. Depression can lead to a lot of eating disorders, or you will be like not hungry and you want to starve yourself because you're not happy with your body image. And then after that period, you will go into another depressive state where you just want to keep eating.
Yeah.
And you still won't be happy about how you look. You feel isolated because
you feel like no one's around you or no one's there for you, even though there are, you're just not seeing it.
Yeah. You also feel hidden.
Or like have to put up a fake mask about like so people don't see what's really going on.
Yes. And then anxiety, you have chest pains, like I get chest pains, especially if I'm having an anxiety attack, and that also leads into a stomach ache, which makes me feel like I'm ultimately gonna throw up all over the place. Hyperventilation, that leads into the panic attack, that also causes chest pain
which also kind of like correlates with overwhelmed.
Yes.
An obsessive movement. It's kind of like your
a lot.
Adrenaline is so high you have to like move a lot.
Yes.
But that's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.